on a lie? So this entire movie is based on a lie? The blind side about these well-meaning white family that took in this black kid, not because of his ability, not because he was seen as a future NFL prospect, but because they had love and humanity. Yeah, reports that came out, Michael Oher, former NFL player and subject of the Blind Side movie, alleges his entire adoption was a lie. This comes directly from the ESPN page right here. Retired NFL player Michael Oher, whose supposed adoption out of grinding poverty by a wealthy white family was immortalized in a 2009 movie, The Blind Side, petitioned a Tennessee court Monday with allegations with a central element of the story was a lie concocted by the family to enrich themselves at his expense. The 14-page petition filed the Shelby County Probate Court alleges that the Sean and Leah Ann Tui, whatever their name is, who took more into their home and high school student, never adopted him. They bamboozled him. Man, Oher is writing the courts to ask them to end the Tui's conservatorship and issue an injunction banning for them using his name and his likeness. These folks been able to make business decisions on his behalf and his name because they tricked him into thinking they were adopting him when in actuality they Britney Spears this man. I remember when Britney Spears was under, when she couldn't make no decisions for herself and her daddy played her? That's what they did to Michael Oher. Reports also say that he's seeking the full accounting of the money that the Tui's earned using his name and to have the couple pay him his fair share of profits as well as unspecified compensatory and punitive damages. And of course, the family did not immediately return any phone calls to ESPN on Monday. And this is wild, right? They never adopted him, instead tricking him into signing a document making them his conservators and rich.
Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh by Shem Shai by Shem Karkadash. This all praises to the world called God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Shem, and in the name of Yahweh Shai being the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching his word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will, with another video to edify, and I can see a lot of brothers is going to go on this, right? But I got to put my 2 cents. All right. I remember in the end of that movie, they tried to sit here and say he was adopting, so you should see the underhanded shit. Well, this is why the Lord said, never trust thy enemy. Now, I got another video to give you a little more context, right? Let's play this one.
Nah, they can't stand Tennessee.
But the entire consensus of the movie was that the family loved Michael and had his best interests at heart. However, it's now being revealed that Michael Oher has filed a legal petition to terminate a conservatorship. He says his adoptive parents, Leanne and Sean Tui, lied and have made millions of dollars off him. The 37-year-old father petitioned in Shelby County in Tennessee, claiming the couple tricked him into signing the form when he was 18 years old in 2004, alleging his adoptive parents said there was no difference to being adopted and having a conservatorship. According to Fox News, the document reads, "The lie of Michael's adoption is one upon which co-conservators Leanne Tui and Sean Tui have enriched themselves at the expense of their ward, the undersigned Michael Oher."
You see that? So all that hard work he put in, he couldn't even get a more than a dime off of it. They had a whole rights to his money. It's nothing but modern day slavery with a contract. But Jake gets in this mindset that Esau's for their benefit, right? Instead of knowing damn well that these devils don't got no love for you. Played this man into now he's 37 years old and he's trying to sit here and get out of this shit. So for the last, since he was 18 to 34 years old, almost 18 years over that, right? They've been raping this nigga over the coals, getting all rights to his legal decisions, monetary decisions, everything, any endorsements that he would have got off that movie, contract spoke. Man, these devils got every dime and was able to control every dime of it. Right? This is what happens when you trust the fucking devil, man. Right? This is Deuteronomy 28 and 29. And y'all, Jake need to figure out that the Lord said these devils will be our enemies for a reason. Right? Deuteronomy 28 and 29. It says, and thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed evermore, and no man shall save thee. Right? Nobody was getting him out of this shit. He was stuck in it. Right? And that's probably why they called it the blind side, because them devils tucked Jake out, blindsiding him with that false adoption. And this Jake over here, he said it right. They Britney Spears him. Right? He didn't have nothing wrong with him. He was just broke. He was poor. His family's fucked up. Right? He was living in the hood. And they knew damn well that this dude had the juice to make it to the league. That size, moving as quickly as he did, it was assuring, right? It's Ecclesiastes 12. You get this scripture back up, man. Ecclesiasticus 12 and 12. You know what? I got to start up. It says, verse 10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. Now, Esau is obviously an enemy, right? You go to Job 9 and 24. It tells you that the wicked rose over the earth. Malachi 4 and 1. It tells you who the wicked are. Psalms, the 83rd chapter, tells you that Esau, Edom, is an enemy to us, the Israelites. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet good he and beware of him. And this is why we needed the word of the Lord, because these type of situations, you be damn sure that this ain't the only time that this has happened. He's just the most notable figure for this. It says, beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not altogether been wiped, Slakia, that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. Right? And these two devils.
So this entire
Let's get back. I want them
movie
on
is
screen.
directly from the ESPN.
Weirdos. Where are these fucking weirdos at? I want to get these devils on the screen. I think it was on a YouTube video.
Michael Oher discovered this lie to his chagrin and embarrassment. In fact, provided him no time from Michael's guy contracts so away, and the public generally, that he wasn't actually adopted, devastated Mike and wounded him deeply. The petition read, since at least August of 2000.
You look at these devils. They don't look nothing like some people that actually give a fuck about a Jake. This is a reincarnated slave-owning family. Right? You got to understand, no matter how good these white folks try to push themselves, right? That wickedness is still underneath there. Right? Set him not by the least when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Right? You already had a family. Why are you trying to get adopted by a whole new family? Why were you so eager at the age of 18 to have to be adopted? See, Jake just as soon as the Edomite do something nice, anything that resembles something nice for them, they just quick to try to fucking graft on. Well, you set them by thee, and the scriptures happen. You got pricked with it. Right? Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? And you can't even sit here because the dude was 18. He's old enough to sit here and understand how the world actually works. This nigga went from being in the hood to living around these devils. You don't think he knew how Esau really got down, but he tried to sit here and just push that to the back of his mind. Because for a lot of Jake, it's just too painful to know that there ain't no way getting out. And that you got to be around these devils constantly. It's too painful to know that life ain't as peachy as it looks on TV. This is Proverbs 12 and 10. It says, a righteous man doth regard the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked, Malachi 4 and 1, or 1 and 4, goes into who the wicked are. It says, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel, right? Oh, it's the same as adoption. There's no difference of conservatorship and adoption. And then they sat there and used that as a means to be able to have rights to all his money, his legal decisions. This nigga couldn't make a move. Right? Who knows? If he wasn't up under them, he could have had another 3-4 years in the league, making extra money, kind of negotiating his own contracts to get the most. But this is what the devil does, and Jake, y'all got to figure this out the hard way. That's the problem. Figuring it out the easy way by looking at what's going around you and seeing this devil's track record. And Jake don't want to do it the easy way. He wants to figure out all this shit the hard way, and then deal with the negative shit afterwards. Right? This is Proverbs, Sirach 13 and 3. And I'm gonna jump around in this. It says, the rich man doth wrong, and yet he threatened withal. The poor is wrong, and he must entreat also. Right? This is how Esau rolls. He'll do wrong, and because he's the rich man, he's the one that owns everything, he'll sit here and get on TV and act like nothing happened. But when the poor go off, when y'all slip, when we as a people slip, right? We got to figure out how to when we're wronged, even when the poor are wrong, we got to fucking say, you don't think he wanted to come out harsh and hardcore when this shit was, when he found out exactly how this shit really works? You don't think he wanted to go in the media and and blow up? But what? If they have conservatorship, right? And you got to sign legal documents to go on any talk show to sit here and get the truth out. They own the legal right to be able to sit here and say, nah, you ain't doing that. Right? If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. And that's exactly what it was. They saw he could be for their profit, so they used him. Because if he didn't have, why didn't they pick up any other Jakes out the hood? Why didn't they pick up just a random Negro out the hood and try to help him out? Because a random Negro didn't have what they needed to profit. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yeah, he will make thee bear and will not be sorry for it. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope. He thought he had a family, right? Adoption, right? Put him in hope. He will seek thee fair and say, what wantest thou? Right? He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? He will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. And you don't think he's drawn dry? Man, compared to how he looked here.
The movie The Blind Side does touch on those who doubted the motives of the Tui family.
He looked like he'd been drawn dry. The dude's 37 with a cue ball, bald ass head. Bro, he don't look like he been living good. He look like he been stressed and fighting with these fucking people. I don't give a fuck about him smiling, man. That Jacob smile just to show that he got it together. All right? He will shame thee by his meats until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. At the last, he will laugh thee to scorn. Afterward, when he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. Beware that thou be not deceived, and brought down in the idolatry. That's what Jake need to understand. This is how the devil moves. Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, going into the wicked. This will be the last precept. Wisdom of Solomon 2. I start at 1 and I'll jump down. For the ungodly said, reasoning within himself. So this is the context of who's speaking, the ungodly. Who are the ungodly? Esau, Edom, right? But not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. So this is what they say in their minds, but not aright. It's not right. Their thoughts are not right, and on course with what the Lord says. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 6. It says, come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth. And that's what he did. They used this man in his youth, took away all his goods and substance, kept him from taking money. Why do you think he's worried about getting all that money back? Because he really don't have that much right now. Right? I bet the only thing they did was pay taxes for this man. Yo, this is what happens when you trust the damn devil, man. But hey, the Lord's going to pay these devils back. That's for damn sure. The Lord said he hates robbery. Right? The Lord said he hates robbery. Shalom.